Welcome to another edition of The Way I See It with your host, Ralph Williams. And now, without further ado, Ralph Williams.
And good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. Wow, sorry about that. Jumping ahead, a day ahead of things here, folks. Anyway, welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. We're here every Monday, 7 o'clock p.m. right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter platforms. And we have a lot to talk about tonight. We definitely do.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
All right, yeah, that's right. You better call somebody. You better call and get them here to The Way I See It with myself, Ralph Williams. And we're here, like I said, every Monday night, 7 p.m. All right, we're here in the First Line Consultant Services Studios, 1-877-926-6982. That's 1-877-926-6982. And also, we're getting ready to come up with our segments coming up. Blast, our Bonehead segment tonight. We have a lot of topics to talk about tonight, plenty of things. All different types of topics to talk about, national, local perspective. And I have some businesses that I'm blasting tonight that are really something else here. All right, an investment in yourself will pay dividends for the rest of your life, and that is tonight's Chinese wisdom. All right. Okay. First Line Consultant Studios, 1-877-926-6982. Call them today for your website needs. If you would like a website or you need a website and you would like to have one and have manage it and upload all your videos, everything you need at one low monthly price, call First Line Consultant Studios today, Consultant Services today, 1-877-926-6982. All right. Let's get started with our sponsor, Sleep Pittsburgh. They're sponsoring our Blast segment, which is coming up, 412-462-7858. Go to Sleep Pittsburgh, 8th Avenue, Homestead. I tell you what, you got to go to Sleep Pittsburgh. They have the best prices for beds, bunk beds, mattresses, day beds, futons, lift chairs, anything that involves any kind of sleep or recliners or anything like that. Give them a call today. The number again, 412-462-7858. Tell them you heard it here on RW Media Productions and all on our shows here on social media, on the radio, and nationally on Blog Talk Radio as well. Also, you can go on Sleep Pittsburgh's website, and you can also go on there, not only just on their website, but you can also order from the phone and from the website. And they have instant financing, no credit check. So why don't you give them a call today, 412-462-7858. And that is Sleep Pittsburgh for a great sleep tonight. All right, let's get into our Blast segment tonight. And I got to tell you, our Blast segment, the couple. Now listen to this now, okay? I have friends in high places. I have friends that get around, and I have friends that tell me things that go on that are just totally wrong. All right? But this tonight is not only wrong, but sick and sad. All right? And let me tell you what I mean by sick and sad. What I mean by is a couple was taking their two kids that had to be no more than 10 years old into an adult bookstore out on McKnight Road. I'm not talking about the one further out McKnight Road. I'm talking about the one on the left-hand side if you go outbound, or the right-hand side as you come inbound, as you're getting ready to get on the 279 to go into Pittsburgh, or you're staying on Evergreen Road. Okay? They decided to let a couple bring in 2 young children into an adult bookstore. And I'm blasting both the couple for taking their kids into that place. And then on top of all that, I'm not only doing that, I'm also blasting the establishment for letting it happen. Okay? Now, first of all, with the establishment, that's against the law. You're not allowed, no one 18 or under the age of 18 is permitted to go into an adult bookstore at all in the state of Pennsylvania. That's in violation of law. That's number one. Number two, the couple who did this, what is wrong with you? Why would you take your kids and subject them into an adult book porno store? Why would you even consider doing that? Okay, what? One of you couldn't sit outside? Couldn't you sit outside and discuss and make a list as to what you were going to buy in there? And one of you could have sat out with the kids out into the car? No, you hauled the kids inside, young kids, 10 years old, inside an adult bookstore. And the establishment's wrong for letting them in. That's the way I see it tonight. All right, next, the Red Roof Inn in Monroeville. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I'm picking on the Red Roof Inn in Monroeville. No, I'm not. You know why I'm picking on them tonight and why I'm blasting them tonight? Because I had a friend of mine who had to stay there. Okay, his property is being worked on, and he had to stay there. Okay, so therefore, he was there, and he reported to management that there was a wasp nest along the stairwell to go up to the second and first floor. Okay, what did Red Roof do? What everybody in America does now, and what is that? Nothing. And did the hotel care? No. So tonight I'm blasting the Red Roof in Monroeville because you cared about letting junkies, you cared about letting hookers, you cared about letting prostitutes or pimps and whoever else stay there, but you didn't care about the fact that my friend has been a steady customer of yours for a while now because his house is still being worked on. Okay, and he had to stay. He had to stay there. Okay. You didn't care, Red Roof in Monroeville. And you know what's interesting? All right. He called corporate office and they didn't care. And I want to tell you this right now. I have had bad problems with Red Roofs. I stayed at one in Raleigh, North Carolina. My wife got her jewelry stolen. On top of that, my wife fell. And you know what? They didn't even care. And I even sicked my lawyer on them. And they still didn't care. They try to play games. They try to say, oh, well, you did this and you did that. And you trashed the room, or you went and you stunk up our bathroom on the public bathroom on the first floor, or you did this, or you ruined the buffet this morning or the breakfast, the thing or whatever. Okay? That is what hotels will do when they want to get out of something with corporate. That tonight is the way I see it. Next, a woman who left a service dog at Pittsburgh International Airport. What is wrong with you? Why would you leave the dog there? Oh, I couldn't get the dog on the airplane. Okay. And what you should have done, what you should have thought about that before you tried. You should have called the airport and said, hey, can I bring a dog on, even though it's supposedly a service dog? Can I bring it on the airplane? I'm going to the Bahamas. Okay. No, you didn't do that. What you did was you went to the airport and you had the dog in a baby stroller to try to sneak it through, just like people who sneak guns through at the airport. Okay. You try to do something like this. All right. That's unacceptable to me. And that should be unacceptable to anyone that owns a pet, and especially a service animal. And you leave the dog at the airport. Lady, I hope you come back from your trip, because guess what? County police are charging you, and that's federal charges. You don't abandon a dog at all at the airport, and that tonight is the way I see it. All right, next. The lady at the Suffolk County, New York, who left a 1-year-old child in a car for 8 hours while she was at work. Why would you consider doing it? And the baby died. The baby died. A 1-year-old child you leave in the car in the hot heat with the windows, not even a crack of the window, for 8 hours in the hot heat in Suffolk County so you could be at your job. That's why I'm blasting you tonight, and that is the way I see it. All right, next. The person in McKeesport who shot the dog Marshmallow and left it lay in the street. You know what? If you shot a dog, why would you just leave it behind? That's almost as bad as leaving a child in a car or a dog in a car. When people do these things to animals, that's when I get ignorant. That's when I get mad. That's when I say things. What are people thinking today? What the heck is this? Okay? This is why we need not legalize marijuana. Because of this. Too many people are smoking marijuana and pot and dope and drugs that their brain is not there for someone to do this. That's the way I see it tonight. All right. The Chick-fil-A that fired a female employee because she had blonde hair. Now, this female employee, her hair is actually blonde and never said nothing about it before, but all of a sudden this manager wants to say something. All of a sudden, this blonde hair is a problem. So he fired her and said that Chick-fil-A will not tolerate that. That's the way I see it tonight. All right, next. The lady who cussed out a handicapped woman who was a medal winner at the Paralympics. She was parking her car, and she went to a business, parked her car. She's handicapped in a wheelchair. She participated in Paralympics. She was a winner in Paralympics for the United States. Okay? For the United States. And she didn't have a placard for her car. But obviously, if you see her get out of the vehicle in a wheelchair, you'll know that she is a handicapped person. This lady cussed this woman out who was part of this Paralympics, okay, for not having a handicap placard. And they got into a big argument. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong? Some lady going to scream and holler at somebody who you see is in a wheelchair getting out of her vehicle, okay, and parked her vehicle in a handicap spot because she didn't have a handicap placard yet. And this lady's going to scream and holler at her. That's a shame. That's the way I see it tonight. That ends our blast segment, which is brought to you tonight by Sleep Pittsburgh. Call Sleep Pittsburgh today, 412-462-7858. And also get on their website for all your bedding needs. I needed a bed. I had to get one. I got a memory foam mattress. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. They delivered it for free. And guess what? No credit check financing. And I did it right on the phone. And I also, you can do it on their website or you can go visit. They're right on 8th Avenue, right in the middle of Homestead. So call 412-462-7858. All right, our Bonehead segment is brought to you today by the band Bon Journey. Bon Journey. Bon Journey is a cover band that plays Bon Jovi and Journey songs, okay? And they are going to be performing on on the 19th, I'm sorry. They're going to be performing on August 19th at Jurgles out in Warrendale. And also on August 26th, they're going to be performing at the Winooski Winery in Bell Vernon. So check out Bon Journey today. All right, Gary Biggerstaff, Rob Shine, Dan Newman, Justin Walker, and Matt Friday. I tell you what, they put on one heck of a show. So go see Bon Journey. And on the 19th, they're going to be at the at Jurgles, and then the 26th of August, they will be at the Winooski Winery in Bell Vernon. Bonehead segment tonight, and here we are. A Virgin Airlines flight was forced to divert because of a disruptive passenger who was, drinking and vaping. Next, people who intervened on a Delta flight as someone who is the bonehead here was trying to assault a flight attendant. The two women who bragged that they bought and sold food stamps at a Judge Judy Justice show. They were part of the audience, and they bragged about how they sold food stamps and fraudulently sold food stamps and public assistance stuff on the set of the Judge Judy show. What a bonehead. The woman who filled up the gas tank with diesel fuel instead of the regular gas in her car. The Sonic manager who forgot to schedule an employee for a shift, and when she came to work, the manager sent her home and said that she never said that she was working the shift. The woman who paid $1,400 for Taylor Swift tickets from a resale ticket outlet that did not exist. And that is our Bonehead segment for tonight, brought to you by the band Bon Journey, cover band here in the Pittsburgh area. On August 19th, they'll be playing at Jurgles out in Warrendale, and also they'll be playing at the Winooski Winery out in Bell Vernon on the 26th. All right, let me talk to you today about Draft 412. Draft 412 is a website that covers all different drafts: football, hockey, baseball, NBA, anything draft related, and even sports related. So check out Draft 412's website at draft412.com. Also, they have an e-magazine that you can subscribe to at $9 a month, and they will send it to your email. And what happens is when they send it to your email, you will get all the detailed information about all different types of skinny of every kind of player involved in a trade, involved in any kind of sports, okay? So also, they have several podcasts. Joe Kuglis, he has a podcast on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio, which is where my Wrestle Talk show and the External Bum podcast are that I have, all right? And that will be Tuesday night, 9 p.m., 347-205-9631. It's called Draft Nation with Joe Kuglis. So see to it you tune into that. That is just some of what Draft 412 does. They have several podcasts that you can watch and listen to. So subscribe to Draft 412. All right. My life story tonight is Tuesday, I had the radio show. I had guest Ed Nicola on. We talked about high school football. I also had Tad Maury on from Duquesne Dukes football. He's a color analyst. I had him on. He come on to talk about Duquesne football. Tomorrow, I had planned on only having Leo Haggerty on my Sports Corner radio show, which is on Beaver County Radio every Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m. And I will get to your comments in a moment. Okay. All right. So, radio show, it's on Beaver County Radio tomorrow, 5 to 6 p.m., 99.3 FM if you're in Western Pennsylvania, 12:30 a.m., 1460 a.m., or live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook and or YouTube channel. Also live on their website and or their app, which you can download into your phone. Also, there's a new way of listening and watching Sports Corner, and that is www.rwmedia.org. My new website is up, so check it out when you get a chance. You can listen to all my shows and everything else on there as well, and archive versions will be coming shortly, okay? My life story today is brought to you in part by Hillcrest Farms in Richmond, Ohio, all right? Hillcrest Farms in Richmond, Ohio is a company that sells hay grain beef. And they have some different types of package deals. And one of them is their variety box at $195. You get 4 pounds of burgers, 10 pounds of ground beef, 2 packs of filet mignon, 2 roasts, 10 steaks. Then you have your roast beef box at $200, 7 roasts, 30 pounds of ground beef. And then the ground beef box, $95, 20 pounds of ground beef. That's not a bad deal for $95. Call them today, 740-346-5442 or 740-632-2894, or at Hillcrest Farms, Ohio at gmail.com is their email address, or their website at www.hillcrestfarmsohio.com. And they're shipping now. So go on their website, check out their package deals, and also on their Facebook page at Hillcrest Farm as well. All right, now we're going to finish up continue on with the life story as well. I gave you all the Tuesday details. Now, tomorrow on Sports Corner, we were only going to have Leo Haggerty on to talk about the game between the Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, first preseason game coming up on Friday. But, and I say but, Erik Karlsson got traded to the Penguins. So guess what? I have Matt Vensel coming on from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette to talk about the Erik Karlsson trade and what was all done and how it was all. And Smoking Jim and I will be talking about that, Steeler training camp, what's going on there, the Pirates. We have a lot to talk about tomorrow night in the short 1 hour time frame, and your phone calls, 724-843-1888. That's 724-843-1888. All right. Wednesday, stayed home and chilled. I wasn't able to be on with Peter Blake at 10:30 because I had a little bit of a medical issue, and I wasn't able to be on there. I had a real bad excruciating headache, and I just couldn't be on the show, and it was going to be hard for me to try to focus, so I wasn't able to be on the show Wednesday. Thursday, I had a triple show. 1 o'clock, I interviewed Marianne Costello on my Ralph Williams one-on-one show, which you can see here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. Okay. Twitter is now called X. We'll talk about that later. All right. But also, I interviewed Marianne Costello. It was a great interview. Marianne Costello is the host of Liberty Bell Smack. She also is an author and a therapist. And she also is part of a band called Nectar. So I had her on for the interview. Check out the archive version on my YouTube channel. Also, at 7:30, Wrestle Talk. It was myself, Bubba Brewer, Mark Mancini, and Smoking Jim Frazier. We're on every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631. It's picking up steam across the country. And I got to tell you, it's going to be very interesting this week because we have a lot of wrestling news things to talk about, including SummerSlam, which was this past Saturday. So we'll be talking about that as well. And then at 9 o'clock, I'm on the South Florida Tribune, hosted by Scott Morganroth. I'm on his show called Fire Up. Okay? And that's live on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also catch it on Apple TV. Or Amazon, Apple, and several other platforms as well. The Fire Up Show. That's Thursday, 9 p.m. I'm on with Scott Morganroth, George Eichhorn, and Jeremy Baller. So I'm on, a lot of shows nationally, and I have a lot of my own shows as well. On Thursday, I had to go get my my knee shot injection. My cortisone shot that I get every 3 months. Then I come to find out that I pulled a hamstring in my leg. Now, I had pulled it sleeping. I was trying to move myself around I pulled, a hamstring. I had a real bad black and blue mark, and I went to my orthopedic surgeon before I got my shots. He looked me over. He says, "Look, you got a hamstring pull here, and I'm taking care of it right now." So, and then Friday, I now have a new show, which is with Leo Haggerty, my good friend from Amped Up Sports, who happens to be one of the sponsors for Sports Corner Radio. All right, Amped Up Sports, and Leo was on, and we do a different show. It's not sports related. We talk a little bit of sports. It's called Telling It Like It Is. And we talk about general topics, and we mix a little bit of sports in there. It's on every single Friday night, 7 p.m. It's brought to you by RW Media Productions, and it's on our platforms here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. All right. And also on Saturday, the External Boom podcast. It's every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. on Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631. Myself, Mark Mancini, Joe Kuglis, and Scott Morganroth. So that's an interesting show as well. Check it out. Listen in every single Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. Don't miss it. The External Bum podcast. We talk about bums in sports. All right, our key topics tonight is brought to you by DJ Fun. Call DJ Fun today, 412-545-4317. DJ Fun is a party, wedding, and a special event DJ. DJ Fun this past weekend was done at the Pump House in Homestead in the waterfront. So that's where DJ Fun was. He was DJing a wedding. It was a great time, he told me. So DJ Fun, call him today if you'd like him to DJ your party. September the 8th, DJ Fun will be in Pleasant Hills DJing some kind of a fundraiser for the vets, for veterans. So that's going to be a great thing. He's doing that on September 8th out in Pleasant Hills. Call him today, 412-545-4317. Dates are still available all the way till the end of the year. I know you're getting ready to book for Halloween parties, Christmas parties, weddings, any kind of party or special event. Give DJ Fun a call. All right. Before we get into our key topics, which I'll bring that up later on. But anyway, our key topics tonight is we're going to start off with the city trying to get people to rent space downtown in high lease public safety. All right. High leases and public safety are the reason why people are not renting downtown. All right. Before we get started, let's go to our comments. Mike says hello, and I say hello back. Tom says good evening. Good evening, Tom. Thank you for you and Mike are always steady watchers. And Mike said, leave weed out of it. You know what, Mike? I don't have a problem with somebody who needs it for medical purposes. But when somebody smokes weed and their brain is deteriorated to where they can't think, and that's where we're going with this, okay? I don't have a problem. I don't care if you smoke pot. I don't. But I have a problem that when you smoke so much of it or whatever, that it affects this up here. And when it starts doing that, that's when I have a problem. Or you drink too much, and it affects the brain. All right. Tom said that was a great trade for the Carlson trade. Yes, it was, Tom. Very nice trade. We'll talk about that tomorrow on Sports Corner, 5 to 6 p.m. Beaver County Radio. Myself, Smoking Jim Frazier, up-and-coming sports show in Western Pennsylvania. And real soon, I'm taking everybody out and I'm kicking everybody's ass. And that's exactly what's going to happen because I've been the forgotten son too long, and it's not going to happen no more. All right. So our key topics, the city is trying to rent space downtown. They're trying to clean up the mess that was left behind by Bill Peduto and COVID. Okay? So here we are. Now they're trying to come up with some ideas as to how to get, people into low-interest loans or whatever. I know people who have moved their businesses out of downtown. And I know people who are continuing to move their businesses out of downtown. You know why? And I'll tell you why. Because public safety and high leases. How can you make any money when you have companies, okay? When you have companies that are real estate companies that are charging you so much money for a lease, you can't make nothing. And it boils down to what I've said for many times. Nobody cares. Nothing and nobody cares. And I'm adding nothing to this fray because nothing has led into this. Okay? It's going to take Larry Sherrod, the police chief for the city of Pittsburgh Police, a little bit of time to clean house or to do it the way he wants to do it. Okay? And get the morale back, get some people, get some recruits in here. All right? They're giving them raises. They're getting them new equipment. All right. So give them some time to get it done. The mayor, I'm tired of him. Oh, well, it's the federal government. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's I don't want to hear no more excuses from anybody anymore. I'm done. I hear enough excuses here in my building. I hear them from management. I hear them from down at the executive offices of the Housing Authority of the city of Pittsburgh. Okay. All right. And I'm going to blast a media colleague tonight, Marty Griffin. And those of you who listen to him and Larry Richard in the morning, okay, I was on their show in March to talk about what goes on in this building in the Housing Authority. I have tried to reach out to Marty, not a return phone call. Now, we're talking March now, okay? I was on my way down to Youngstown. I stopped in Cranberry to get breakfast because my nephew was on his deathbed, was in ICU, and you know all about that, and I told you about that. And we all, there was a few, the way I see it, and some stuff I couldn't do because of it. All right? And this show and all my shows now, are all dedicated to my nephew, Sean Negley Jr., and my father, Ralph Williams II, my late father. Okay? Marty has not even bothered to even reach back out to me at all. I've called him many times. I've emailed him till I'm blue in the face. I've even tried to get a hold of him on Messenger. When it comes to helping me, Marty doesn't seem to want to. All right? And I find that very prejudicial. And the reason I call it prejudicial is it's real simple. Okay? The reason I say prejudicial is because he helps everybody else, but he won't help me. Why? Okay? You expose downtown, I expose downtown. Okay? All right? And I don't know what his method to his madness is. Maybe it's because I'm in the media, and maybe he doesn't like it and he's jealous. And he's angry because I may be a threat, and I am. I'm not on the radio with this program, but I'm a threat. Okay? All right? So anyway, what happens here is now Marty Griffin wants to be prejudicial. He wants to be choosy as to who he helps. But he won't help me. He'll help everybody else, but he won't help me. Okay? I didn't want to do it, but I have to. Because now it's gotten to the point here in my building that the executive office doesn't care. Mayor Gainey doesn't care. And he's my friend. Okay? Because if Mayor Gainey cared, everybody in that executive office downtown would have been immediately fired. And that's not happening. Okay? And I'm not pleased with the way he's doing things. Downtown still is a mess. Okay? And I don't think it can be fixed. And if it is, it's going to take forever. Finally, Burlington's moving. Can you believe that? Burlington Coat Factory is moving. They were supposed to move last year into the the old Kaufman's building, where Target is. Hasn't happened. Now all of a sudden this fall it's happening. Okay? You got all these other buildings downtown that offices are not filling them up, and they're trying to build apartments in there, and people are moving out of the apartments that are there now because they're tired of the crap downtown. All right? So when you hear things about how, they want to help people with rent downtown, they want to help people with their leases for their building, they want to give them a loan, they want to do this, they want to do that. Tell them forget it. I wouldn't do it. Tom says living downtown is crazy. Yeah, it is. But you know what, Tom? I wouldn't mind living downtown because I'm central to everything. As long as I can park for free in a building garage, I don't care. All right? There is a place not far from downtown that's up in Soho. That's not a bad place to live. That's pretty, no, I wouldn't say affordable, but better than most. And they have a lot to offer, but I'm not going to advertise them here because they don't pay. All right? I would live there. Okay? Private garage, everything else. Okay? But I'm not paying $2,000, $3,000, not even $1,000 a month to live downtown and have to put up with this. Okay? Tom says that's why it's expensive. They're charging for convenience. Yeah, they are. All right. That's the way I see it tonight about downtown. Next, the adult bookstore. And I spoke about this in the blast. How does an adult bookstore let a couple bring their 10-year-old kids? These kids had to be no more than 10 years old. Bring them into their establishment. 18 and under. You're not allowed to be, if you're under 18 years old, you're not allowed to be in an adult bookstore in the state of Pennsylvania. So that bookstore violated the law. All right. And I'm surprised that Ross Township Police haven't been informed of this. All right. Right on McKnight Road there. You go out by there, it's on the left-hand side. You can't miss it because there's signs all over the place, and the lettering is big. I told you I had a friend of mine who was staying in a Red Roof in Monroeville, and I'll tell you about what happened there. But he moved to the one in McKnight Road. And he was out in the back walking his dog, and he looked over and he called me up and he said, Ralph, he says, there's a couple walking in to the adult bookstore with their 2 young kids. That's sick. That's not only sick, that's sad. Today. This is where we are. I've said it time and time again. Okay? Nobody cares. The parents didn't care that they're going to expose their kids to the adult bookstore. The bookstore or the adult place, their store, didn't care either because of the kids coming in there to kick them out. Okay? This is where we are in society today, everyone. And how many times have I said it over the course of this year that nobody cares? And this right here is a prime example. And that's the way I see it tonight. Hotels who jacked up their prices because of the Pink concert. I know some people who were a victim of that. Okay? Again, I know, I have some friends, and I'm sorry to hear that it happened to them. Excuse me, that are displaced from their homes. And the hotel was charging them $250 for 2 nights at a room on a Saturday and a Sunday at one of the cheap. Now, this is the cheap hotels now. And Taylor Swift, they were charging out of some of the cheapy places out in like Cranberry and Lawrence County and all that. You know, like Bob's Motel or one of them places, you know, free ice and free HBO. Yeah. Or the Breezewood Motel, that's usually $30. They were charging $300. Okay. The Motel 6 out in Cranberry was charging $400 a night for a room during Taylor Swift. I'm wondering what they charged for Pink. All right. $71 million Allegheny County and the surrounding area made in each day for Taylor Swift for the 2 shows. Now, I don't know what they made for Pink. I don't care what they made. Okay. And now you have Guns N' Roses coming up. What are they going to do? Jack them up again to $400 a night? This is despicable and unacceptable. But it's the way of life. It's the way we're doing it now. It's to make up for COVID losses. But don't do it that way. You should have did it the way you know how to do it. Any other way. But not that way. All right? Tom says it's going to take more than one person to actually show they care for others to show they care. That's right. Tom, you're right about that. You're exactly right. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, the Red Roof in Monroeville. Now, I spoke about the blast segment. My friend, who is being displaced or working on his property. And right now, he is staying at a hotel. And he was at the Red Roof in Monroeville. What a slum hole. He told me. What a slum hole. Okay? And I'm not going to go there of what was going on there. But Monroeville police need to shut it down or do something. Or that community, the borough of Monroeville or the township or whatever they call them, some municipality, they need to step in and shut that place down. It's disgusting. All right? Beehives, or I'm sorry, wasp nests all over the place. He told them about it. They did nothing. My friend is handicapped. Goes to step in the shower, and the handicap bar falls off the wall. Comes straight out of the wall. All right? Now, I had that happen to me down at the Hampton Inn down in Youngstown. And maintenance came and fixed it. Now, I almost slipped and fell. Okay? As you know, I'm handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair. All right? It was bad enough they didn't have the appropriate room for me, and I had to step up over a tub. Okay? So that happened to me, but it happened around the toilet bar, not the one in the shower. And I still almost fell. All right? Yeah, you're right, Tom. High demand. 300-mile radius. Couldn't get a hotel room for Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know what Pink did. I know she was only here for one show at PNC Park, which is about half of what PNC or what Acrisure Stadium at Heinz Field is. And she was only here for one show. The end of August, we have Morgan Wallen coming into town for 2 shows at PNC Park. He was supposed to be here in May. Excuse me. He had a little bit of problems with his voice. Had to cancel and reschedule. But the Red Roof in Monroeville is disgusting. And I'm exposing him tonight because my friend got bit by wasps. And he called down corporate office. Do you think corporate gave him any kind of a discount or anything? No. Well, here's a room on us. Sorry about the inconvenience. No. Happened to me down in Raleigh. My wife's jewelry got stolen. My wife fell in the bathroom. Nothing. I called my lawyer. Couldn't get a hold of legal. Then, when they finally got the Red Roof on the phone from Raleigh, they tried to say I did something wrong, inappropriate to their room, and I didn't. Okay? To cover their tracks. So next time you stay at a Red Roof Inn, you consider what I just told you. And make sure that there's that there's no meatheads and ignorant degenerates and everybody else that's staying at these places. It's worse than my building. All right. Mike says, I take great care of it every chance I get. Ha ha ha. Oh. Awesome, says Gary. All right. Red Roof doesn't care. And that's a shame. That's the way I see it tonight. Next. The Donald Trump stuff. You know, Leo and I had a discussion on Friday on our new show called Telling It Like It Is. What does this country have other than Trump and Biden? Nothing. DeSantis, what, Mike Pence? I like Mike Pence. All right. How about Robert Kennedy Jr.? How about some different, younger, maybe a little bit more, you know. I don't want a progressive because look what they're doing to our city and our county and the state. Look what they're doing. I've given you examples on many of my shows here as to what's going on. Okay? And you know, I tell it like it is anyway. I tell it the way I see it. And if I piss you off, that's too bad. And I have friends that I don't have anymore because of it, and I don't care. All right? When you do wrong, when you don't do your job, when you think that you're going to get over on me and others and everyone else out there, okay, that's when I blast you. But now we have Donald Trump again in trouble and this indictment and that indictment and this. And now you got Hunter Biden and you got Biden's kid. And you got Biden giving billions of dollars to Ukraine when we could be used in this country. Okay? Biden doesn't care about how much the banks charge us in fees that they're not supposed to. Biden doesn't care about what the credit card companies do to the consumer. Biden doesn't care about what, anything. He's, our debt is projected, Mike says, at $51 trillion by 2033 under Biden's budget. Yep. Okay. Once again, I have no problem with Donald Trump. I have a problem when you act like a third grader. And I don't think the way he represents himself that I want that man to be my president. And I'm very disappointed in Joe Biden. Okay. So who do you think should be president? I haven't heard anything about the Democrats. What are they going to do? Put Hillary back up again? We need to get new blood in here. We need to get some guys, some ladies or guys, somebody to step up and bring in a different attitude of what goes on here. Mike says we need people that can work together. And Tom says crazy thinking that the government's solution to the debt issue is to raise it. It's not. You're right. Okay. And here's where we are. And you know who I blame? I blame you. I blame you, the people who don't vote. I blame you, the people who don't haul these people to the carpet. I blame you. It's your own fault. The ones who don't vote, it's your fault. The ones who vote for the wrong people, it's your fault. The ones who put the same people in there, it's your fault. All right? F-A-U-L-T, fault. It's your fault. And don't deny it. You know I'm right. That's the way I see it tonight. Robert Bowers gets his death penalty, finally. Finally gets his death penalty. Finally, it's over. This whole thing is over. It's been going on for months, years. The thing that bothers me is I can't believe that a judge would let the defense carry this on and carry this on and carry this on for 5 years. Why wasn't this done faster? Oh, COVID got in the way. COVID. Okay? COVID. All right. Robert Bowers. Bye. Bye-bye. You got what you deserve. That's the way I see it tonight. Next. I want to talk about the jail board, the Allegheny County Jail Board. And I know there's a bunch of you out there that don't care about the jail. But I had Bethany Hallam on my old TV version of The Way I See It, and I had her on this program too. On the podcast version as well. She's good. She does some things right. She does some things accordingly. But there's some things that she does that I don't approve of, and that's why her and I don't talk anymore. Because I picked on all her progressive friends. Okay? But I admire Bethany for what she does. And I watch the jail board meeting every single time it's on. I subscribe to it on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you this. If I was on that board, and I've been on 5 boards of directors in my time, everywhere from a Bible camp, I was a union rep or an officer in a union. And I've been on church council. I've been a deacon. And let me tell you something. If I hired somebody and they danced around my questions to the board that you're supposed to answer to, and you don't answer to them properly, and you dance around my questions, you're fired. You are fired. What I want to know is why we've had 20 deaths since 2020 down at the county jail. And why is this warden still hired? Why hasn't anyone, because see, nobody cares. But let me tell you this. For every time there's a death down at the county jail, for every time there's a lawsuit, for every time there's a problem down at the jail that involves a lawsuit because of negligence from staff or negligence because of the warden not doing his job. Okay? All right? Your taxes go up. That affects you as a taxpayer. Do you catch what I'm saying? So go ahead. Say, I don't care about the jail. Okay? I know people supposed to be incarcerated, and I'm not asking them to be treated like kings. But there are people in the jail that aren't supposed to be there. Mental patients. They just had a death a few weeks back. Guy was waiting for transport to go to Torrance State Hospital. They had a bed for him. They were getting ready to ship him out on Saturday. Died the night before. Why? And when Bethany went to question the warden about, once again, about the medical situation down there, and every time she asked about reports, and every time she asked about procedures, Warden Harper danced over every single question that she asked him. And he kept saying, well, I'll meet with you in private, or we could talk via email, Miss Hallam, but we can't talk here on this forum. I'm asking you a question, Warden Harper. I'm part of the board that you work for, and the people of this county to keep that jail doing what it's doing. Okay. First of all, you're not doing your job. Okay. And second of all, you should be fired, because if you did that to me and I was part of that board, I would take a vote to have you fired. Because one thing I cannot tolerate is when somebody dances around my questions, especially somebody that's under my employ, or someone that I'm part of a board of directors or a board of something. My goal is to be on the PRT board. Let's say I'm on that board and I question the CEO about something and she dances around the questions. You think I'm not going to be angry? Catch what I'm saying? And once again, it's your fault because you don't care about the jail until something happens to somebody in your family that might be in there for some strange reason that they may not have supposed to be in there. Or maybe they're in there because they had a DUI or they messed up or something, and they don't get appropriate medical attention. Okay? A vet died in there, and he sat around for almost a month to 6 weeks waiting for medical attention that he asked for. And the warden keeps saying, well, we can't talk about here. I'll meet with you in private. No, I want to know now, right this instance, why we're having so much problems with the medical system down at the county jail. And if it's the county executive's fault, then he needs to step down. Or somebody needs to start hauling him to the carpet, Rich Fitzgerald. But that's okay, because there's not that much time left in his term. We are going to be voting in a new one. And I'm voting for Joe Rockey. So if you want the same progressive BS that's going on around here, then you go ahead and vote in Sarah Alvarado. You want your property taxes to go up? You go ahead and vote in Sarah Alvarado. You want to defund the police? You vote in Sarah Alvarado. Okay? That's the way I see it tonight. But the cameras are somewhere turned off. Only the county executive can do such a move. Well, yeah, I know. And he's not going to fire nobody. He never has. Okay? He's worse than a couple coaches we got in this town for our professional teams, whose names I won't mention. This isn't a sports program. All right, next, Beaver County. Working on a regional detention center for youth. Where's Allegheny County here? Well, I found out yesterday that Allegheny County is working on, and I found out this through Bethany Hallam, through some reports, that the county council and the county executive, he does, again, Rich Fitzgerald doesn't care, because I asked him this question, and he danced around the question. He was on KDK. He's always on KDK. He's their stooge, okay? He wouldn't come on my show, but he'll come on KDK, all right? I'm not going to go there. But what I will say is that there is a plan in place that by the end of this year, something will be done to Schumann Center. It's either going to be rebuilt and reopened. They have somebody to run it. They're working on the final details. And that's what I'm told through some sources of mine. Okay? I found out yesterday. Because I'm angry with Allegheny County, because Beaver County had a summit. Allegheny County wasn't there. They want to build a regional two regional facilities to cover big ones for youth. Because right now, there's more youth crime than there is adult crime all across the country. And it's worse now in this state and in Western Pennsylvania. So Beaver County stepped to the plate, unlike Allegheny. Met with Fayette, met with Washington, met with Lawrence, met with all these counties, Greene and all them, and came up with a plan to build one or two facilities to handle the youth. So that way you can't say, well, this kid shot this kid and he got put out on house arrest, because it ain't happening no more after these two facilities are built. Because this is being backed by judges. But Allegheny County wasn't involved in this summit. Because they're, Schumann Center, yeah, it's coming back. When? I found out yesterday that it's coming back at the end of the year, beginning of next year. Good. They should never close it in the first place. And again, that's Rich Fitzgerald, because he doesn't care. All right? That's the way I see it tonight. Western Penitentiary. Okay, they want to tear down Western Penitentiary, build apartments there, build whatever there. Look, don't do it. This county is making a lot of money on the movie industry and TV series industry. Okay? Mike says can't get him to tell the truth. It is true. Okay? Their mouths are moving, they're lying. You know how that goes. So anyway, as far as Western Penitentiary goes, the mayor of Kingstown is filmed there. They have a 10-year contract with Allegheny County and Western Pennsylvania to film the mayor of Kingstown. They were filming in Canada and in Michigan, and they moved it to Pittsburgh. They have a 10-year contract. They're building a big facility over by the Cary Furnace, or on the Cary Furnace property, to handle all the film industry here or whatever's going to happen here in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County. So we want to, it's already struggling now because of this strike with the writers and all that stuff, right? So now we want to make things even more difficult by tearing down Western Penitentiary, which gets used for movies. What I propose, and I know no one cares, but what I propose is you take Western Penitentiary and you fix it up, and you use the new portion of it right now for juveniles for the overflow. Okay? When the film industry is ready to come back, you move the juveniles out of there. By that time, Schumann Center will be rebuilt, and the Beaver County central facility that they want for all these counties and our regional facilities will be ready. Okay? Now you have it for use. Movies are filmed there. Why not make it like they did the old federal penitentiary down there in Morgantown? Or Moundsville. I'm sorry, Moundsville, West Virginia. You know, they have events down there. Boxing, movie nights. They have concerts. And you can tour it. Why don't they do that here with this? You want to know a comment that was made by somebody? I wouldn't live down there. Why would I want to smell Alcazan and pay $2,000 a month? So if that's the attitude now, what makes you think it won't be then? Do you understand what I'm saying? So just leave well enough alone and do not tear down Western Penitentiary or do anything other than use it for what you're using it for now. That's the way I see it about that tonight. The woman who got fired, okay, from a Harrisburg Chick-fil-A for having blonde hair. And I talked about this earlier. You know, that Chick-fil-A should be ashamed of themselves. And you know, Chick-fil-A, in case a lot of you do not know, is run by Mormons. Mormons own it. Okay? There is no rule in the employee handbook to the understanding I got out of this, that says that you're not allowed to have blonde hair. The manager did that at their discretion. And this is why we need unions. Okay? That poor woman who got fired had no representation. There's no union for Chick-fil-A at all. And this is why there's a big push now to bring a whole lot of unions back. Because of things like this. That woman should not have been fired because she has blonde hair. And then the manager made some derogatory comment. You know, that family's suing them. And I hope they win. Very disappointing in Chick-fil-A for them to do something like that. That's the way I see it today on our key topics. All right, here's some general topics, and then we got a couple top tens. We're going to wrap it up here. I told you I had a lot going on tonight. I said if you read one of my Facebook posts, we might go 90 minutes tonight because I have so much to talk about. Topic: state police will start along with the liquor enforcement, targeting alcohol-related crimes at schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, at colleges, universities. This year, they're really going to go nuts because there's been a lot of this, too much of this going on. They're going to bust you for disorderly conduct, drinking, all kinds of stuff. State Liquor Control Board has hired a whole bunch of new people. They're supposedly going to be cracking down on this, something big time. That's the way I see it tonight. Juneau, Alaska, sad. Major flooding. And the Jongus National Forest is being affected by that. Genoa is actually a nice, I've never been there, but I've seen some footage on Genoa, Alaska. And it looks beautiful. That's where the cruise ships go in. And they said it's flooded so bad that it's causing all kinds of problems. And that's the way I see it tonight. Alligator has been spotted in Kiski area, has been caught. Has been caught. You know, these people are stupid. If you can't take care of an animal, why don't you take it to a refuge or something? But don't dump it in a river or a creek or something. And do you know if that alligator bites somebody, what happens? Unless you live in Florida and you've encountered an alligator and you know what goes on. Okay? It's the way I see it tonight. Next, the Pittsburgh Brewing Company has filed for a permit to put up a concert venue on their site in East Deer Township. I'm not going there about Iron City beer. Not tonight. I don't have time. And I'm not in the mood. That's the way I see it tonight. Cyber attack in some PA hospitals. Let me ask you this. How does this happen? We're talking about people's health once again. Lack of medication, lack of staff, lack of this, lack of that. Can't get this, can't get that, can't do that. That's people's health. What is wrong with this? Why are we not with the times here? The money the hospitals make? Come on. You can't fix from a cyber attack that could shut, major hospitals down and cause major issues in communities all across the country and the world? It's the way I see it tonight. PA Fish Commission is asking anglers to throw back or eat a fish called a black snake fish. Supposedly, it eats up all of the other fish, mostly bass. So, when you're fishing, clean the fish. If it's one of those black snake fishes, clean it up, eat it up, or throw it away. But do not throw it back in because it eats up all the other fish. And then when there's no fish for you to catch and you're sitting there in the hot heat or whatever you're doing fishing and you're complaining and getting mad because you can't catch a fish, think about the last time when you threw one of them back into the water. That's the way I see it tonight. All right. We have two top tens, or one top eight, or the top 8 worst cities in America by Wallet Hub. And then and Pittsburgh's not on this list, and neither is Philly. So at least that's good. There's not one PA city on this top 8. Starts out at number 8, Brownsville, Texas. Number 7, Mobile, Alabama. Number 6, Memphis, Tennessee. Wow. Number 5, Flint, Michigan. Flint's had issues since that water thing they had. They've had issues. It's one of the worst cities to live in. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Who would have ever thought Albuquerque, New Mexico? I was told New Mexico is a great place to live. Wow. But this is by one agency called Wallet Hub. Get this. Cleveland, Ohio, number 3, worst place to live. Number 2, Bessemer, Alabama. And number 1, you ready? Here we go. Detroit, Michigan, number 1 worst city in America by Wallet Hub. All right, next, the top 10 states people are moving to, not away from, to. All right. Number 10, Maine. I've heard that. Number 9, Utah. Yeah. Number 8, Delaware. I heard Delaware's a nice place to live. Okay. Number 7, Tennessee. That's up and coming. Tennessee's been up and coming. All right. Memphis, unfortunately, isn't. Nashville is. Idaho, number 6, the Idaho potato. Number 5, North Carolina. North Carolina over the last century or more has been the place to go move to. I even thought about, moving to Raleigh. Number 4, South Carolina. Yes, a lot of people are flocking to South Carolina. Number 3, Arizona. Yeah, I'll agree. My daughter lives in Arizona. It's hot down there. If you can stand the heat, I hear it's not bad. Number 2, Texas. All right. And number 1, Florida is the number 1 place that people are moving to. Yeah, they are moving to Florida because a lot of people I know that lived here in Pittsburgh, either they moved out west to Las Vegas, Arizona, or Florida. Anywhere but this city. I want to get out of here. This isn't the old city with the smile on its face. It's not the city with the small town mentality. No, it's a city that sticks it to everybody. Okay? Cost of living here has gotten sky high. And I'm talking about New York and some other stuff. I've been hearing that. Okay? All right? There are some places like Vegas and some other places that are still, cost of living is not a bad place to live. At least you don't have to wear a winter coat and worry about shoveling snow and worry about the cold. But you have to worry about the heat. And that tonight is the way I see it. I'm Ralph Williams. We're here every Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Also, I want to tell anyone that's interested, if you have a business and you're interested, and if you're a business that's not making any money, or if you're a business that's making money and you're looking for a little bit more business, or if you're a business that's still making money but you want more money, you want more and more business, then call us today, RW Media, 412-990-8448. We have inexpensive, affordable advertising prices that nobody can beat in this town. Nobody. You get radio, podcast, and national. And website. Okay. Call about website advertising on my RW Media website. I have what they call buttons. You know, like you put Bob's Pizza on there and it has the address and everything else. You pay a little fee every month. That's called a button advertising. That's what that's called. All right. So give us a call, 412-990-8448, RW Media. Call us in regards. You have a business? Any kind of business. All right. And you want to do more. You want to make more. And you want to get it out there, and you don't want to have to pay and take out a loan to go to some advertising company to advertise for you, and it breaks your wallet to where you have to close your business down because you pay too much for advertising. Okay? With RW Media Advertising, you get all of the shows, every one of them, including the new one, Okay? Telling it like it is. 3 podcast shows, 2 national shows, and a radio show. And they're all national. Western Pennsylvania in the national area. I'm telling you, you can't beat these rates. So call today, 412-990-8448. All right? Support RW Media in my media shows, because I'm putting it out there, and help us support them. All right? I want to thank those of you who commented tonight, and all my steady watchers and new watchers, and everywhere across the country and around the world on social media. Still working to get this on local radio here somewhere, sometime. All right. But the way I see it's here every Monday night, 7 p.m. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. All right. And also, please don't forget, tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Oh, my gosh, we have a phenomenal sports corner for you on Beaver County Radio tomorrow. Don't forget to tune into that as well. You know it. 99.3 FM, 1230 AM, 1460 AM in Western Pennsylvania. Live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, and also live on their YouTube channel, their website, and their app. And also live on rwmedia.org. Just go on there, look for Beaver County Radio and Sports Corner, push the live button, and boom, you're on. Okay? I will talk with you next Monday, and until then, have a great week, and don't forget about all my other shows. All right? Have a good night. Be safe.